go and sleep on it, or go to bed and sleep on it? Or how can you do something wrong that that's not uh, and don't think about it or laugh about it? This as you know, sorrow is coming everywhere. I mean, there's some things where people want to be happy. There's some people that want to be sad. Rights are being violated and rights are being taken away. And I'm not going to mention what rights they are and what it is, but it got to the point that we got people out here is trying to rule a third world country, or we have a third world state, which is the governor is trying to tell the people what they can read and what they can't read and what they can do and what they can do. In other words, here, we got people out there that's trying to take away our freedom, our rights to do, to read, our rights to worship, and our rights to be ourselves. It's come a time that things are so sad that you don't even want to get out and enjoy yourself. It's like people are beginning to stay home because of this. And these mental people that's carrying these weapons or anything got people scared. People don't come to the point where they hardly even go shopping or go in a grocery store, because when you walk in a grocery store, you got to watch out who's people are watching over their shoulder, or what they're going to hear is a shooter going to come in there, or somebody going to come and start a robbery. And you can, there's no confidence there. It used to be a time when people go shopping in the stores or anywhere like that, department stores, clothing stores. Everybody, well, you got the attitude, well, I guess I got to go ahead and do this and do that, spend this little change I got. And once you spend, you look, and it kind of brightens up, takes your minds off of things. But now we got people that don't want you to feel that way, don't want you to go in there happy, don't want you to enjoy yourself because of their downfall. And they do have a downfall that doesn't exist, that exists, and they shouldn't try to put their downfalls on you. It's not our fault that you didn't do the right thing and you're going to take it out on everybody. It's not our fault that you try to destroy their lives because your life is not together. And many times that people try to do the right thing and live their life and try to help themselves out, the adversary has a soldier or sergeant or anything that comes along and say, no, I'm not going to let you do this, and I'm going to stop you anyway. It has come to the point that some things, even down, I dislike saying this, but some of the stuff has gotten inside the church. I'm not down in the church because I go myself, and I'm down in the church, and I goes there to start my week off. But sometimes there are people in church that think they're better than others, and they think that they're controlling. And they always a knick-knack of fussing and arguing with the sisters and brothers there. I don't like because you're not doing this, and I don't like it because you don't do that. My point is, a friend of mine did a song a couple of years ago called Two-Faced Church Folk, Two Church-Faced Folks. And as he said in this song, some of the choir members don't want to get along with the choir. Choir members don't want to get along with. They want to sing what they want to sing. Deacons don't want to. Some of the deacons there are stinking around. And also you got members in the congregation as some flaws in the congregation. I call them I said I call them Carrie or babies. I say babies, cry babies. And when is there, so everywhere you go, there is a cry baby. Everywhere you go, there's a cry baby in each and every one of us. And some of us cry about some things, but you got the ones that cry 24/7 all the time, because when things begin to seem like it's going to work out and things are going to begin to get together, they want to cry. They don't like what you do. They don't like what you're trying to do. And they don't like that. They think that you're trying to take over and rule them. Well, they cry like I've been here for about, I always say 99 years or 40, 60 years or how many years, which doesn't matter. But they still sitting and do the same thing. Even our young folks, young children, are trying to, it's time for the older folks to step out and let the young ones come in and do and learn what they can do. Our children are suffering because and crying because nobody cares and nobody want to care. And they don't want to give them the chance to do what they want to do. Innocent babies. These are innocent babies. Because when children suffer, and you sit back and let them suffer, and you say, well, they too young, they don't know what they're doing, they need to stand up, sit back, and let us do what we got to do, leave them alone. Well, what you think is this: they'll watch you. They're trying to learn what you got. There was a young man that watched me work a PA system at one time, and he kept watching that board and watching me how I did things. I invited him in the sound room so he could learn, watch how I use the board. But at the same time, while he was learning, he was told to come out of there. I said, no, let him learn. Well, I was told, blah, 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 don't want nobody in there, which I understand. But if you want to teach, if you want to bring the young people into church, teach them things, let them learn something. They learn what to do, they know how, and they'll know how to do it. We will not always be there all the time. We will not be there all the time. Because there's going to be a point of time, going to be a day where we can't be there. There's going to be a time, I think, where we will never get back there. Sickness may come down on us. Anything may come down on us where we cannot be in the position, in that spot. And this is why our young folks are suffering today, because nobody cares and nobody want to teach them anything and nobody want to show them anything. Whatever is outside on that outside of what we're trying to bring, they're listening to. Bible says, bring up a child and show him the way, and when he gets old, he will not depart or return from it. He will remember to go back to it. But right now, nobody's thinking about it, and nobody's trying to show them. They letting the child go away. Society has got to the point where you cannot teach your children the right thing anymore. You cannot test them in a way that they will not go wrong. We're lost, stood fast. Love. We're lost. We're real lost. And, you know, we have to, grab the child and say, hey, you got to show them some love. Kids these young people, young babies, are crying every day, every day, every day, every day. They're crying for help. They don't know what they're after. They don't know what they're trying. They want to get there, but there's no way anybody's showing them. But if we let somebody else that doesn't have nothing on their mind show them what they do, oh yes, they're going to go do it. And there you are, down at the courthouse just about every other weekend or every other day or at the courthouse, sitting in them pews, listening to evidence, stuff that he had did. And when the trial all over, he's taken away and he's going to be gone for maybe 3 or 4 years. That he messed up on his own life. But some of the reasons because did nobody take time to show him and teach him. And society has took parenthood out of our hands. Another thing is that children are suffering because they watch when they're in there on their computer. You don't know what they're looking at on their computer. There's a whole lot of things on that computer that is there. They can go to any one of them internets, any one of the programs, and some of it's good and some of it's not. It's not always that they watching the game. There's a game they playing. It's something else. It's somebody teaching them things and telling them what to say and brainwashing them in a way that they won't even listen to you. And they brainwash them in a way that they won't even talk to you. And we got to learn that when we're by ourselves, we don't know what's going on in that computer. I haven't been there. I have one myself. Wife and I we have 2 of them. But we haven't gotten to where they into or want to go into. So they have to so we don't know what there's in that little room back there or what's going on in that little room back there that they watching. Some things we have to be very careful of what our children look and listen to. It used to be television, but it's not television anymore. It was on the computer now. Everybody got their phones. The small phones have computers, and they look up on that phone, and they look at stuff on that phone, and they have stuff on that phone where they can get to. Their phones now, their cell phone have websites, and then they go to that website and pick up that website what they want to do and what they get into. This is how minds get twisted, and this is how minds get disturbed. They forget about the good stuff. But as the good stuff has become bad stuff, and the bad stuff has become good. It becomes right and wrong. They say left and right. Don't let the left know what you're doing, don't let the right know what you're doing. But we cannot let stuff like that interfere with our lives. Everybody let things happen in our lives. There's a lot of things we're going to have in our lives that's going to disturb us. There's so much going on out here we don't even know where to look and where to turn. Our children must learn and must see that whatever's out there, they have to turn from their wicked ways. They have to turn from the ways that they weren't brought up. The world, as he said, if my people here call by my name, and I shall heal the land. If they turn from their wicked ways, and I shall hear them from heaven, and I would heal the land. It's not going to be healed, because too many people are still in their wickedness. They're still in their evilness. Our children are learning things that when I was a kid, I would dare to learn and dare to look at and dare to try to do. But now everybody has a free hand. Everybody's raising your child now. Everybody's raising your child. Everybody's raising your children. We don't have the laws in our hand anymore. It's just like saying, don't look down on them. Think about what you did. Think about how they watching every move you make. This is one way our children are suffering. Another way they show them, they believe that these are innocent babies. Innocent babies. And especially the young, the ones that's under 12 years old, I say under 9 years old. Some under 9 years old, they are trying to getting brainwashed now. They don't know they don't know what it is to learn what it is, to learn things and what's right and what's, they know what's right and wrong, but they haven't developed their mind what's really right or what they stepped into. Because these kids, young babies, are saying, well, when I get grown, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, 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 blah. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Well, let me tell you something. Once you get grown, you're going to try to get out and do what you want to do. You got your freedom. But all of a sudden, there's a blocker that stops you. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Because if you do, you're in trouble. You won't be back. You won't have your freedom. I have some friends of mine that when I went to the military, and before I went to the military, I thought that they were going to be at nice jobs and have everything pulled together. But when I came home, the same ones that laughed at me, the same ones that joked a clown about me, took me as a joke, was still doing the same thing. They still doing the same thing. They never got they didn't get themselves together, and they don't care about getting themselves together. Half of them still ain't working. Half of them still walk the streets. But these are people I thought that maybe was gonna be something in life, but they wasn't. And life turned out to be that they were not interested of getting themselves together. All they saw was the big lights and the big glow, and I'm gonna do this and making fast money. Well, young people, let me say this: y'all suffered there too. There's always someone is gonna try to teach you how to make fast money. There's always someone that's gonna try to teach you how to make it quick and teach you how to spend it. All this bling bling, these diamonds and stuff they have, half of it they got is not real. Half of it's costume jewelry. Half of it's not real. Half of it's not. It's fake. But they put this on them just to impress you and to show you, and put out a big road. This I got this, blah blah blah. Where did you? And you kind of wonder, oh, you make that? How'd you make that much money? And you're not working. Or they'll tell you they got a job paying me so much, this much, and I get this much every day. But someone's gotta think. Well, we do, but you gotta think. Well, how is he getting this? Who he working? There's always somebody he's working for. There's always somebody who's trying to get him to. He has to pay back, because if he don't have their money back at that time, they're going to wind up in the slab, or as the song say, from the cradle to the grave, and that's where they're going to wind up, in the grave. And when they do that, that's it. But you got to, when you see people like that, you cannot let them fool you on that. You cannot let them get you into that. Because when you're in trouble, and you're trying to be, and you're in trouble, you ain't got nowhere to go, because sooner or later it is going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you in a time where you won't be able to do anything but look and cry. And you can't not. And once you get there and get involved with that, then you weren't taught right. You were taught right, but you turned down your mother's and father's rules to go their rules. And this is where society has taken it away from you. We got to understand that, our parents love us and show love towards us, and need to show love to be with us. God loves all of us. He loves all the children, regardless of who they are and who they want to be. And there's things that happen with the children that we get involved with so-called buddies and so-called friends because they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. We get involved with them in a way that they cannot. They don't want to listen to you, or they don't want to listen to what we have to say, because there's the ones that bringing them down, they're down themselves and don't even care what they do or how they doing it. They just want to show you how fast we can make this buck. And next thing, come on, let's go make this fast change, my friend. But you don't need to make that fast change. The best thing to make it, if you make making that fast change, you constantly got to look over your shoulder. And when you look over your shoulder, you won't be the same. And when you're not the same, you're kind of lost. You're really, really lost. We have to feel that we can't be lost all the time, but we got to be with us all the way. Let us learn to love each other, and let us learn to be with each other, and let us show the love for each other. Because once we do that, we will walk the path. Like I said, this is sorrow. This is a time of sorrow. And sorrow is going to give us a lot of problems. And sorrow is going to give us a lot of changes and a lot of headaches. We must learn to live and love, and must learn to try to get away from it. Stop the suffering. We're going to suffer, but suffering is going to always go all the time. And I always say this, remember this, and I told somebody this one time, remember this. The mind's nothing but a garden. What you put in it grows. And they always say the mind's a terrible thing to waste. I'm going to add that on with it. It is. It's a terrible thing to waste because you're not trying to get anything in it. But what you put in it grows. Every day you're growing something in your mind. Every day you're putting something there that shouldn't be there. So we got to learn not to be where we can put stuff. We got to think of good things. Got to pull out. It's just like a weed. Whatever you put in your mind is like growing weeds, dandelions. Let's put it this way: dandelions. And dandelions they grow every year, and you have to constantly, when you cut your grass, you be cutting dandelions. Then you got to maybe get some weed killer to kill them. And this is where the evil thoughts and the planning in your mind grows. And whatever you do, whatever you put in that mind, or put in that garden, it's going to grow. It's going to constantly grow every day. As long as you feed it, it's going to get bigger and bigger every day. It's going to get bigger when you rob. What I'm saying is when you grow stuff, there's talk a lot, gossip, gambling, murder, and anything else out there. You don't put that in your garden, and your garden be growing every day. And you be wondering when you go pick it, which one of them you gonna grow first, or which one you gonna cut out first to start. Oh, it's there, but you don't know which one you're gonna start with. There's so many choices you have. This is why you don't let stuff grow in your mind. You don't even let jealousy grow. You don't even let people to tell you how to tell you what to do. Unless it's to help you, but not to tell you how to get in trouble. Or don't let them tell you, get you started on something that you don't want to believe, or force you to do things you don't like. You got them out there too. So we all got to get together. We all got to turn from our wicked ways. We all got to learn to love each other. And most of all, we got to stop the children from suffering. The more they suffer, the worse it is. The more they suffer, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And pretty soon, it's going to get to the back. It's getting to the point now we won't be able to tell our young folks nothing, because they're going to start retaliating. And once they start retaliating, walking through the streets to try to get this stuff straight, that's what it's going to have to take to get things straight. Because no more of being quiet, no more being telling you to shut up. you're doing a temper tantrum. No, that's not going to happen. That's going out the door. From what I seen, from what I saw, our young folks are getting tired of being abused. Our young folks are getting tired. Some of our young folks are tired of being telling them to shut up, because the problem that they have is going to come out, and when it come out, it's going to hit the streets real hard. It's going to be hit real hard. Us old folks, we got to step back, look, and learn. We don't know all things, and we don't know everything. But the old folks, but like I said, the old fogies, us old fogies, we got to listen to our young people. Let them tell us. Let them sit back and listen and see what they got on their mind. Let them sit back and tell them what they got, what they're going to do. Because really what they're doing, showing their feelings. And you wonder why they're doing so much? Because we don't even listen or give them the chance to do what they want. Give them that chance. Give us a chance. Listen to them. Because the things they may tell, we can work out. We can work out. Even though everything begin to look like a third world project or a third world country, you don't want that. Because third world countries do not have, the government controls everything. It controls everything. The media, the schools, the clothes you wear, and the place you work, it's all under government control. That's a third world government. And we're going to have to get to watch out, because these young folks, they're not taking it anymore. They're not going to take it anymore. They're going to fight and fight hard to get their stuff together. They're going to fight hard. They're going to stop all this suffering. They're getting tired now of suffering and pain and going in the room, shutting the door, crying. And we don't listen to them. We got to learn to listen to them. And if we don't listen to them, well, I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. Because when they break out and start tearing up things, if they're not marching peacefully, they're going to start tearing up stuff. Then what you going to do? What you going to do then when they start tearing up? First thing you're going to say, oh, they shouldn't be doing that. Wonder why they doing it. Well, you got to stop and look at yourself. Stop and look at yourself. Look what you did when you was young. But see, we was told to keep our mouth shut, don't say nothing. But it's not happening now, because it's going to start at one place, it's going to speak up, and it's going to keep right on going. And it's going to keep going until we get things straight. And once we get things straight, get them to say we may not be here, but things may be much straight, must be beautiful, much more subtler. They're looking for peace. They're trying to fight this suffering. They're looking for kindness and love. They're trying to love. They want to be able where they can go and hug each other, walk down the streets holding hands, regardless who you are. This is why the children are suffering. And they got to learn how to. They want to learn how to walk or two, and be able to help somebody when they're down without being accused of doing something. Most of the stuff that happens here, it's not all most of the stuff that young folks don't help each other. It's not because they happen because it's bad. It's not that they're not bad. It's because we ourselves put them in that spot. And this is why they are trying to get it together. So we're not going to be here long. Like I say, once we're gone, they're going to be the ones that lead the way, and they may be the ones may need to be peaceful, And then that's what may happen. We got to be peaceful. All right, to all my YouTube friends, family, radio and everything, hey, have a good day, and whatever you do, mind nothing but garden, what you put in it grows.